condition wise it's a lot better than what it was when I fished this venue Tuesday, which would have been the 27th. That day it was very cold, very breezy and overcast. Today we've got milder temperatures, a little bit of a breeze, but we've got some nice blue skies and a bit of sun. You can see from the shot that the water clarity isn't the best, and it's been this colour since around about, well, I've been fishing elsewhere for the majority of the year, but I came back on this venue in November and it's been like that since then. The venue is surrounded by a lot of farmland, and with all the rain we've had over the last 5 or 6 weeks, it's simply run off the fields and ended up in the lake. But by tweaking my approach in the way of high-vis hook baits and plenty of smell, the fishing certainly in November has been very productive, which was topped off with easily my biggest carp of the year, which was back in November, which was a lovely mid-20 common. Up till last week this lake had a lid on it, and obviously all that ice has melted and ended up in the lake. And yeah, the fishing's been a lot tougher. I'm currently on 3 blank sessions, but that's the way it goes over winter. But as I always say, you can't catch them sitting at home. And just finished work and I've got the afternoon free, so yeah, I'm settled in for the final session of the year. So fingers crossed I can bag my final carp of the year also. I'm the only angler present, and I'll be very surprised if anybody else turns up now, but you never know. Right, time to sit back, get the old kettle on for the first coffee of the session, watch that water, and as I said before, fingers crossed something happens and I'll have a carp to show you. Nonetheless, it's just lovely to be here. Right, so I've chose this swim today for the plain and obvious reason. I'm at the deepest end of the lake, and the way that the temperature's absolutely plummeted to sub-zero temperatures around about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and we had a lid on this lake. Certainly it's the obvious place to start today's session. I've arrived today and there's no one else present, so I was more than happy to have a good look around the lake. It's not a big lake and it hasn't taken me long to check all the little nooks and crannies, around about 40 minutes. The majority of my fishing is done midweek. I'm fortunate to get a few afternoons off, and yeah, if I arrive and there's nobody else present, I'm more than happy to go and have a look before deciding on where to fish. But if I do arrive and there's people already here, it's a no-no for me. It's just a personal thing. I just feel that, yeah, it could interfere and disturb other people, and yeah, I like a quiet and peaceful life. Don't want to upset anybody. But today there was no one here, so I've had a good look round. We've got a little bit of a breeze, but it's not as bad as it was on Tuesday. So there's been periods where it's been flat calm, but yeah, looking all over the lake, didn't see any obvious signs of any fish movement or fizzing or bubbles. So this is the starting point. From this shot, you'll notice I'm not actually sitting on top of the rods, but I'm not a million miles away from them, and I've done that for an obvious reason. Just a preference again. I feel that if I'm really close to the rods, I mean, I fish in open water, so if one does happen to rattle off, yeah, there's no problems with it getting in a snag or, yeah, doing me up. I choose to sit if I can, and the situation allows, just a little bit away from the rods. That gives me a good scope of the lake, and I'm constantly looking. As if I'm sitting right next to the rods, I don't think, in my opinion, you get the best in the way of a visual look. Just a preference thing, but yeah, as I said before, if one does rattle off, I'm not a million miles away and I'll be on it like a flash. Incidentally, in those little periods where it has gone flat calm, I've seen a little bit of bubbling and fizzing. I will add there's quite a few bream in this lake, and I was unfortunate to go and catch one on Tuesday. Big old bream, dinner plate size, but yeah, not the intended species, and certainly not good sport when you're fishing with strong rods, big lines. Yeah, no finesse is it, literally. When I picked the rod up, the battle was over and I dragged it in. But yeah, that little bit of fizzing that I saw was encouraging. I'm not quite sure because yeah, when you look at the water for a bit, sometimes your eyes can play tricks on you. But I think I did see a vortex and possibly a fish just stick its nose out. Not 100% sure, but certainly the fizzing's given me a little bit of confidence. That breeze has got up slightly, but it's still fairly mild, and we're coming up to 12:30. So yeah, I've got to at least R3 4:15, so I've got a little bit of time. But it's all about one fish this time of the year, and it'd be lovely to end the year with a wet net. So I thought I'd just give you that little bit of an insight of why I've chose today's swim, and certainly on this venue what I do when I arrive, if there's people present or if there's me on me Jack Jones. Right, I might show you my bait that I'm using on this session and what I've been using over November in the next little bit of a segment, but I think it's about time after waffling on. Right, put the kettle back on. Now normally at this time of the year my ever faithful scope-head squid gets put to bed, certainly when the first frost arrives and the citrus comes out to play. But with the current fishing situation that I'm faced with and the clarity of the water, I've had a bit of a rethink and I've gone for a bait from the Instant Action range, and I've opted for the Pineapple Crush. I've done that for two reasons. That's a proper yellow, hopefully this camera can pick it out, and it's seriously visual in the clarity of this really horrible chocolatey mucky water. And the other reason is the pineapple itself. It's got a fantastic track record in cold water fishing conditions, complemented with the Instant Action booster juice, which yeah, all the baits get submerged, saturated and left well in advance to marinate basically before fishing. Complemented with a small solid bag, my ever faithful twisted multi-rig. There you go, simple as, and it's been working for me throughout November and December. Short and sweet, brief insight, hopefully it found it of interest. There we go. Last fish of 2022. Well happy. Right. I think that's job done for this year.